And you identify as genderqueer?
Yes.
And when did you come to that truth for yourself?
I mean, it wasn't like a light switch kind of deal. So it was a long process of a couple years, but I think I really just went into it around last November.
Was it one of those things where there's so much more awareness about gender possibilities that you said, oh, I think I identify more with this than just with being male or being female? Like, is it that in today's time it's just more open and there's just much more that people can be in getting closer to who they actually are, where we used to just kind of fit ourselves into holes because that's what we thought was available to us?
I definitely do think that where I was in a very liberal college studying gender studies gave me a lot of language to better understand what I was going through and then, piece it together that way. So in that sense, yes. And I became way more attuned to what language was doing. Also, I generally started to feel way ickier whenever someone referred to me as he or boy or especially sir. Hate that.
So tell us the pronouns that you like.
They, them, there.
And you don't mind the pluralness of it? Because people in my generation, we're kind of stuck on, but how will you know how many of they there are if there's only one they?
So they went over there, them two went to the store. You just have to, consider it a little bit and then fall into it in practice. Also, like the whole, it's grammatically incorrect. That's just wrong. People all the time use singular they. The mail delivery person, they came at like 2:00. Everyone does that always.
They do, and they also means you know what they say, and so it's like who says it? One person or a lot of people, and where are they? And then my nephew Jake, who's here tonight, he's always telling me that we're constantly reinventing language. That's what humans do. Mm-hmm. So if enough people are using language, it becomes language. There's no language boss that sits on God's shoulders and says, wait a second, what's happening on Earth? Unacceptable. Kenneth.
Oh, I just wanted to what would you give? That's weird. Okay. What is the best explanation or definition that you would give of genderqueer?
So queer to me, and right now, going off of so many theorists and so many people before me, it's queer defies definition. It's unstable. It's always moving across time, across, all kinds of things. And so to me, pronouncing myself as genderqueer just means if one day I feel more like a boy, one day more like a girl, one day more like something else, one day I'm just like gender's not happening today. It's all there, and then I don't have to reinvent to myself, well, what am I today?
Okay. So it's a label that works for every day. Who had a question?
I was just wondering, when did you feel like that was something that frustrated you? When it was like, oh, I don't like being called this, or like gender is something that is something. Gender is something I am not okay with being only one of them.
I mean, I just maybe for the past 3 years or so, 4 years, gender has been on my mind.
All right.
Yeah, and I gotta say, though, really, the language is limited in use. Pronouns are not going to be the be-all, end-all. It's really about that other kind of recognition. Like, I'm not just going to, use this pronoun and think about it a little bit. I'm actually going to try and see outside of two genders.
That's really, really interesting. And thank you for bringing that to our show, because it's really important. And there's so many kids in our app who have identified with what you're discussing today. And you're the first guest that we've had on the show that can speak to this, so I really appreciate it.